right, I've got an update on Mr. Wyatt. He's made a lot of progress in the last couple of days, so he's gone from really completely out of control to being pretty nice to walk on the leash. So what I'm going to do is show you his leash work here, and then we're going to introduce place on the dog bed, and you're going to see all the steps that I take to get there. He starts out, generally on the leash, he starts out a lot pretty sniffy, checking the ground, not terribly attentive to me, but I haven't, in this session, I haven't worked him on anything. I just brought him out of the kennel, walked him over here, turned on my camera. So we'll see what he does. Earlier this morning when I did his leash work, he was definitely sniffy. But sometimes they go back in the kennel and think about things and come out with new information. So let's see how he does. All right, heel. Good. Beautiful. Atta boy. Heel. That's it. That's it. Good. Excellent. Heel. Good. 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 All right. Excellent. Good job. Very nice. Heel. Good boy. So he's responding to the prong collar tightening on his neck. Sit. Yeah, good boy. And you can see I'm not yanking on him. It's just a very light pressure. He's been reactive to that from the start, which is it's only going to get better. But he still does a little bit. But there you go. Good boy. Good. Heel. Good. Excellent. Good boy. Very good. Good boy. Good. Good. So we're looking for loose leash walking. He's doing most of that, not doing his sniffing nearly as bad, so I'm very pleased to see that improvement. Sit. Yes, that's a boy. Good attitude. Respectful. Not crazy. Good. Good. When I first started with him, he was bouncing all over the place, grabbing the leash anytime the collar tightened. So this is huge, huge, huge improvement. Lets me handle him, sits quietly. Good boy. Nice and polite. Very good. All right, we're going to do a little bit of place intro. Here, sit. Come on. That's it. Good. Place. Good. So now I'm just going to teach him that this spot has a name. Get rid of the acorn that's laying there. And that's just, I do that with a little bit of food here. Place. Good. Good. Place. Excellent. Good boy. Place. Very good. Place. Good. Give him a couple of more. And then we're going to place. Move to the next step. Excellent. That's a boy. Place. We've also been working pretty hard on being polite around his dog food. So he started where he was jumping up at the bowl, just acting a fool. And I've got him to where he will sit and wait until I tell him he can take his food. So all of those steps are moving towards him taking some responsibility for his behavior. Okay, okay, good boy. So I'm going to let him step off, and I'm going to get covered in water. Here, good. Place. Good, good. Come on, good. Place. Put him back on again. Sit. Good, good boy. Good boy. Place. Couple of more repetitions on that. Place. Place. Good. Now I'm going to start doing some distraction around him, and I want to start showing him that now he stays on the dog bed no matter what. So I'm just going to move around, and you can see I'm just using the leash and collar right now. Place. Haven't introduced the remote collar yet. Nope. Place. Good. Good. Place. That's right. That's the answer. Good job. Good. Got freeze-dried liver, and it can be hard to snap apart, so that's what's taking me a while here. Place. Good. Place. Good. Excellent. Excellent. Good boy. Excellent. Good boy. Place. is an impulse control exercise. This is what Wyatt really, really needs. So he's having to wait for the treat, which is not a terrible thing. Place. Good. Good. Place. And I'm just doing very, very simple distraction here. Just moving around him. Obviously putting him right back when he moves. Very good. That a boy. And as he starts to figure out what I want, I will start adding more distraction. Good. Place. Go in a different direction now. Place. Excellent. Very good. Place. I will say this is a really bright dog, and he figures things out really quickly when you're using the right language with him. And that language is not just your voice, but your equipment that you're using. So this is going to become a 30-minute exercise. He is going to get on place and he is going to lay on it quietly for 30 or more minutes at a time. Excellent. So just stretching him out on the reward, asking for a little more duration on the time. Very good. That is a good boy. Place. Easy. Place. Good. Place. Good. He will learn to get onto the dog bed and down. So sit will be fine, but we really want to down. And then as many different distractions as I can do. Place. So he's doing great with this, so I'm going to increase the distance that I am. We're going to work towards 10 minutes today. He's going to stay on the bed for 10 minutes. And then the next time we do this, it'll be 20 minutes. And by the third time we do this, it'll be 30 minutes. Place. Place. Sit. So he's getting a little excited because the food's coming. Just going to make him just chill out for a second. Place. Good. Impulse control. Treat is coming, but you're not necessarily going to get it immediately. Beautiful. Good boy. Good boy. Very nice. Good, good, good. Excellent. Next thing we're going to be working on, not in this video, but I'm going to be working on taking that food better. He's been better about taking the food. This is definitely harder bites on place here. And part of that is because he's not under direct control. So I've got a leash on him, but I'm not holding it. I'm not, like on Teal, if he started to grab at the food too quick, I'd pop him a little bit with his collar, and that told him to settle down. So now that he has a little more autonomy, he's being a little pushier. There you go. So he would really like to get this food. Place. That's where I'm going to take that leash, and you see his whole attitude change, right? His ears relax. He physically relaxes. He's not nearly as forward. Good. Place. Much nicer on the food taking as well. So you can see how that can really change his mindset. Just a little bit of control, and that's the direction that we're going in. Is that he, in addition to the commands that he's learning and the self-control that he's learning, that applying the equipment, the tools, can help him get into the right mindset. Beautiful. This is fantastic. Like I said, he's a very bright fella. Good. He figured how to railroad you, and it was very successful. So, of course, he kept doing it. So we're doing the same thing again. Coming up now, you notice a whole difference. If you roll this video back, the last time that I approached, those ears came forward, his body came forward. He said, "Oh, I'm really, really going to get that treat." And this is much softer and more compliant, honestly. Good. Place. Good. Place. boy. Place. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get into a chair because a lot of dogs will try to run over here. This is our next step. He's doing a beautiful job, and this is the next thing we want to do. So if he moves over towards me, oh, that's fantastic. He doesn't move towards me, he gets a cookie. Place. Beautiful. Good boy. Yes, much better on his taking the treats already with just that little bit of intervention that I gave. Beautiful. I'm going to stretch the time out on this a little bit more. Good boy. Yeah. Good, good, good. The other thing that we've really worked on in these first couple of days is the jumping. Not just the leash work, but the jumping, the full body contact jumping that gets him so much of what he wants. And a lot of that happens in the kennel with being just polite, with me going on and putting equipment on and getting a leash on him. Like I said, feeding him. He sits and waits to be released to get his food. That has happened in 48 hours. And for a dog who is so food driven, that's a great result that quickly. So I am happy with him. Every session that we get out, we get a pretty good leap forward on his understanding, and I'm very, very encouraged by that with him. Good. So there's that whole forward. Here comes the food. I'm going to use my leash. Sit. And you see him soften. Look at his ears, what they're doing. Good job. Good. Good. That much pressure. Very light. Very nice. Good boy. Place. And polite taking the food. Fantastic. You're seeing this live. We haven't worked on this before. This is brand new. You could tell you didn't even want to get on the dog bed in the beginning. So not grabbing at things to chew. He's not trying to pick up twigs and acorns and leashes and leaves. He's attentive to me. So super happy with him. I'm going to turn my camera off. I think we are, oh yeah, we've hit our 10 minutes. So I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm going to go back and release him, put him up for a little while, and we'll get back out a little bit later this afternoon and just keep moving in the right direction.